My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, no corruption will be tolerated, PM warns relief workers. Parts of devastated Kadavu still out of touch. And 5 classrooms lost in Labasa Technical College fire.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
But leading news tonight, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has announced the final special cane payment of $4 million to assist sugarcane farmers as part of the TC Winston relief payment as allocated in the 2017-2018 national budget. Nearly 10,000 sugarcane farmers will benefit from this special cane payment. A careful reassessment of the payment formula determined that roughly 15% of growers have already benefited from the full maximum payment. Thousands more growers will be receiving either full or partial payments to finalize government's payout process. Bainimarama says as a result of this special payment, all sugarcane farmers will have received equitable and direct financial assistance to go towards the repayment of loans and other costs associated with cane growing. Bainimarama says the special payment to all cane farmers will go a long way in lowering the cost burdens. He says the industry has come a long way since the severe devastation of Cyclone Winston. Bainimarama says this turnaround is not only thanks to his government's continuous relief assistance, but also to his new and innovative ways to support and advance the industry and, of course, the heart and sweat of Fijian sugarcane farmers. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has warned government officials that corruption and abuse of authority will not be tolerated. In a briefing with the National Disaster Management Office, the PM highlighted that in previous disasters, corruption was evident and this shouldn't be repeated this time around. Maggie Boyle with the story.
The PM says in the wake of Tropical Cyclone Kenny, some families are crying foul that they haven't been assisted.
In the past and again, during this disaster, there's a lot of abuse of authority by government officials and people looking after rations and water. Like, for instance, I've been receiving calls that water trucks have been bypassing homes. That's abuse of authority, and we can't afford that, really.
Bainimarama says he will hold those responsible to account for any future instances of abuse.
The commissioners. Yeah, commissioners, the DOs, anybody who's in government.
The NDMO director says measures have been put in place to ensure all is above board.
We are there to ensure that the distribution is fair and those who really need the rations are provided with rations. That's something that we will communicate to the commissioners and our people on the ground on the need to be vigilant and adhere to the proper requirements or the proper protocols for ration distribution.
At the height of TC Kenny, there were more than 6,000 Fijians sheltering in over 100 evacuation centres. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Reports coming out of Kadavu so far reveal that the island felt the full brunt of severe tropical cyclone Kenny on Tuesday. The National Disaster Management Office says 40 houses were destroyed while over 170 were damaged. Ali Kimbia reports.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama was given an update on the situation in the Western Division and on Kadavu Island that were ravaged by TC Kenny.
We are receiving some initial reports from the team on the island. The reports indicate that the island has been severely affected. We are going to mobilize a team probably on Saturday, consisting of officials from the various agencies who are responsible for relief and response.
The extent of damage in Kadavu is expected to be comprehensive as officials on the ground cannot reach other villages because of fallen debris. After the briefing today, Prime Minister told the government officials the focus should be on getting the students back to school.
The intention is to move out the evacuees from the evacuation center so we can clean up the schools to be evacuated. But some settlements in some villages, they can't just fix their place overnight. They have to come back to the schools. before they can really go back and settle in.
Bainimarama told the officials they must ensure the homes are safe before residents vacate the evacuation centers.
As much as we want them to vacate the schools, we really want them to make their settlements and villages livable first.
Officials from various government departments will leave for Kadavu on Saturday to carry out assessments on the island. Alekimbia, FBC News.
Close to 700 members from the Fiji military forces and the police force are involved in the emergency response to Tropical Cyclone Kenny. While TC Kenny may be behind us, the recovery and rehabilitation efforts have been stepped up, and it's all hands on deck as the reality of the damage becomes more apparent. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
The Commissioner of Police today bringing closure to a family from Ba.
We recovered the body from the Tia River in Tavua, and we are trying to go through the identification process now.
The back-to-back cyclones, only separated by tropical depression, has escalated the need for emergency teams on the ground.
The police stations with the normal manpower that's on the ground. In addition to that, we have about 300 that are still operating, looking after the evacuation centers and the flood-prone areas as well.
For the RFMF, the many hands have been needed to wade through the deluge of destruction left in the wake of TC Kenny.
A lot of it is to do with cleaning up the schools so that they're ready for schools that are being used as evacuation centers and assistance to the general public when they require.
Emergency response teams are likely to continue to work around the clock into next week. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Divisional and subdivisional health facilities have resumed normal operations. The Health and Medical Services Ministry says clinical services at CWM, Lautoka and the Labasa hospitals are also fully operational. A team from the Fiji Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Services is also visiting health facilities in the Western Division to ensure that basic medicines are available. Health Minister Rosie Akbar and a team from the Environmental Health Unit yesterday visited some of the evacuation centres and communities affected by severe tropical cyclone Kenny. Families staying in evacuation centres in Singatoka, Nandi and Lautoka were given wash and hygiene kits, while the health outreach team provided health checks and care for those in need. Meanwhile, a 4-year-old is admitted at the Nandi Hospital after falling down the steps of a double-storey building at the Nandi Technical College this morning. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio is reminding people currently at evacuation centres to keep an eye on their children.
He was in the second story and he fell down the steps. So we're calling on responsibility in looking after young ones, even at evacuation centres, even though we've brought them out of danger. But they didn't. They were not well looked after in this case, resulting in the injuries to the poor child.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum today met with people in Singatoka and visited farms in the Valley Road. Many farmers from the Valley Road have suffered loss from TC Kenny. Farmers in this area say they lost their produce, which includes pawpaws, eggplants, beans and chili. Come, children screened for heart surgeries. And bail of 2 Cyprus nationals facing multiple charges revoked. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai Singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kami na sa mga bola, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tali, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tajiri ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
All schools in Ba and Tavua will remain closed tomorrow. Schools in Nandi, Lautoka, Rakiraki, Nandronga, Nabosa and Singatoka will open for classes tomorrow, with the exception of the Lovu Sangam School, Mataso Primary School, Nambala District School and Tokaimalo District School. Schools in the Eastern Division will remain open with the exception of those schools on Kadavu. All schools in the Northern and Central Divisions will also remain open. There is still extensive flooding in some areas, and parents parents are advised to use their own discretion and assess conditions before sending their children to school. All teachers staffed at schools that are open for classes are expected to attend work tomorrow. In addition, teachers staffed at all schools in Ba and Tavua should report to work to assist with preparations necessary to reopen schools. However, teachers living in areas badly affected by floods should also evaluate conditions in their areas before reporting to work. Firefighters saved Nanduna Technical College in Labasa from being completely destroyed by fire last night. According to eyewitnesses, the blaze started at around 9 p.m. The firefighters managed to stop the fire from spreading to the nearby classrooms. 5 classrooms were destroyed in the incident. FBC News understands the fire started from the first room of the engineering block, which stores the students' refrigeration equipment. The estimated cost of damage stands at $150,000. Investigation is underway to determine the cause of the fire. 20 children with heart problems were screened by a team of international surgeons at the CWM hospital today. Kritika Kumar reports these are newborn babies and children up to 16 years of age who are expected to undergo surgery tomorrow.
This will be the second such project that will be undertaken by the Sai Prema Foundation Fiji. The aim is to help the people who are unable to afford these costly heart surgeries.
The statistics show that approximately 200 children are born every year with congenital heart disease, and because of the lack of facilities, many are unable to receive treatment.
Tapu says such surgeries cost around $100,000.
The team comes from India, led by Dr. Ashish. There is a surgeon and a proficienist coming from America. There's a team from Australia and a doctor from Oman as well. So a truly international team has come this year, to operate on the children completely free of charge.
Chief Cardiac Surgeon Dr. Ashish Kateva says this is his 3rd trip to Fiji.
The first time I came here was in Feb 2016, and that was a reconnaissance visit to see the facility and also to screen the children. And 4 months later we came here with a team in August. We operated 25 children during that visit. So this is the second operating visit and 3rd visit in total here.
The surgeries will be done under the Gift of Life project of the Sai Prema Foundation Fiji. The team will be in Fiji for over a week and hopes to operate on around 80 children. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
2 Cypriot nationals facing multiple charges of money laundering had their bail revoked by the High Court this morning. Loises Petridis and Cleanthis Petridis, both from Cyprus, are charged with 293 counts of money laundering and obtaining property by deception. Pranita Prakash reports the sophisticated crime was allegedly committed shortly after the 2 arrived in the country.
The 2 were granted bail by the Magistrates Court. However, the state had appealed against the decision in the High Court. It is alleged the 2 conducted multiple transactions involving 400 foreign cards at the Bank of South Pacific ATMs between 12 to 19 December last year. It is alleged when police raided the apartment, they discovered fraudulent identity cards, plastic cards, ATM writer and reader machines, and more than $173,000 cash believed to be the proceeds of the crime. It is also alleged the CCTV footage shows the fraudulent transaction being committed at various BSP ATMs. The Suva High Court judge allowed the appeal and remanded the 2 in custody. The 2 will reappear in the Magistrates Court next Friday. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A 23-year-old man who pleaded guilty to 1 count of attempted aggravated robbery has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment by the High Court. The court heard that on February 9th, Marika Mbola and others attempted to rob a taxi driver. Mbola and those with him hired the taxi from Fletcher Road in Vatuanga and asked the driver to take them to the city. However, on their way, they began punching the driver. The driver kept going and drove the taxi to a petrol station where those with him ran away while Mbola was chased and arrested by a police officer. More awareness is needed to combat non-communicable diseases, especially diabetes, says Dr. Isimeli Tukana, the National Advisor for NCDs. Dr. Tukana believes improper diet is a major factor contributing to the killer disease. Catherine Krishna reports.
Fijians are being urged to relook at their diet to help address the increasing number of diabetes cases.
That eating is one of the main factors. And eating is not a medical issue. It's a social issue.
We're talking about costs. We're talking about availability, accessibility, food gardening.
Diabetes Fiji West Chair Dr. Chone Hawea says high number of amputation are a concern for the health departments.
7 years ago, we announced that it's 1 in every 12, 2 every day is being amputated. Today we are realizing it's increasing now to almost 1 in every 8 hours of the same problem. And those are the statistics, and the costs associated with those are huge.
Media personnel today attended a media and diabetes advocacy workshop which was aimed at helping journalists do better reporting on diabetes-related issues. Currently, 15% of the elderly population in Fiji have diabetes. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie, All Blacks veteran Tim Mickelson ready for Commonwealth Games, but we now join Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Engineering workshop to bridge infrastructure gaps. And in growing Fiji, fast food chain plans expansion. Stay with us.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन पता हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
In business tonight, in a bid to bridge the challenges and gaps in infrastructure development, the South Pacific Engineers Association will be hosting the International Engineering Symposium on April 23rd. Association President Pratap Singh says 7 experts will be making presentations on topics of modern-day challenges in infrastructure development and delivery. Singh says close to 30 countries will be attending the symposium, including local engineers, contractors, planners, infrastructure regulators, hardware suppliers, and various government ministries.
The purpose of this symposium is to bring that awareness, engage with development partners, with the governments, with the private sector. And this is a regional meeting, of course, but we have got international attraction. It is a truly international symposium on infrastructure happening for the first time in the region.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Looking at the economic news today, perhaps the biggest news was President Trump's threat to take action against Syria and a resultant warning from the Russians that they would not allow that. This threw the stock markets into a bit of turmoil and saw the prices of gold on the rise. The US March Consumer Price Index was released and came in below the expected result. In other updates, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand Assistant Governor presented the economic outlook. Australia released its consumer inflation expectation for April, which declined slightly. The rate of investment lending for homes was also down from the previous month. All this influences our currency basket that sets the foreign exchange value of the Fijian dollar. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar rose against our 2 major trading partners, that is Australia and New Zealand, and slipped slightly against the others we cover. As for the commodities market, oil prices were up to close at $66.81 per barrel. Gold was on the rise as well to close at $1,351 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $16.65 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Labasa franchise, the Lunchbox restaurant, will open a new outlet in Suva's Tapa City by the end of this month. With the opening of the store, the fast food chain will have 6 stores around the country. These include 3 in Suva, 1 in Nandi, the other in Lautoka and in the north. The next store for the franchise will be in Singatoka. Managing Director Vinesh Dayal says the new outlet will employ 12 Fijians. And that's it from business this evening. Here's Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. In sports tonight, Jerry Tuwai good to go for Commonwealth Games. and Maritime Zone postponed. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से। मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो कदावू के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber says the team has kept the nation in its prayers following Tropical Cyclone Kenny as they prepare for the Commonwealth Games. Chasing Fiji's first gold medal in Sevens rugby at the Games, Baber says like any other tournament, they know the expectations from fans. However, they do not see this as added pressure. Meli Tavanga has more.
Speaking to TV New Zealand, coach Gareth Baber says the players are aware of the situation in the country and will try and perform to their utmost best and bring joy to the fans.
If you look at any motivational element that you want to perform, I think that many sports people would say that they weren't far away from doing it for the ones they care about and they love. And when something like this happens in Fiji, the whole of Fiji feels it. And equally, when we win, the whole of Fiji feels that as well. So the players talk about it often. Obviously, they're very loving of their home, their families, their community. And when we come together as a group, be it in prayer or we're having team meetings.
Baber says they're aware of the expectations from the fans.
If you come from Fiji and you're a rugby player or you're involved in rugby in Fiji, every game you play, there's a weight of expectation that comes around it, be it a pool game in a HSBC tournament, a Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games or a World Cup. So these boys are quite used to having that scrutiny put upon them.
Fiji will face Sri Lanka, Uganda and Wales in the pool match. The side plays Sri Lanka at 1:21 p.m. Saturday and will then meet Uganda at 7:53 p.m. before battling Wales in its last pool match at 11:33 p.m. The semi-finals and final will be held on Sunday. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Baber has dismissed overseas media reports that skipper Jerry Tuwai is in doubt for the Commonwealth Games. Baber says Tuwai was sick, however, he has been looked after well by the medical team and is scheduled to lead the national side from Saturday.
We looked after him this week, the medical staff have looked after him, he's looked after himself as well, done everything we can, and he's much better today and has progressed over the last couple of days, so he will certainly lead the team in the Commonwealth Games.
New Zealand Sevens veteran Tim Mickelson is looking forward to his third Commonwealth Games. Mickelson, who played his first games in 2010 winning gold, says the current side has the potential to repeat the feat, but it will take a lot of hard work and focus.
We have to start well, we have to execute. There's no second chances. If you don't deliver on the first day, you're out. So it's just being able to handle those pressure moments and really trust and support your teammates.
The Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Association has yet to confirm the number of maritime schools that will be participating at the Coca-Cola Games next week. Association Secretary Vuli Wanga says due to the devastation caused by the recent floods and Tropical Cyclone Kenny, the Maritime Zone competition, originally scheduled to start tomorrow, has been delayed to Monday. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Due to the damage and destruction of the past 2 weeks, maritime schools now have only 3 days to prepare their athletes for the Interzone and the Coke Games.
The Maritime Zone is going to be held next Monday. They were supposed to have it tomorrow. Unfortunately, there are 2 or 3 zones that would be arriving on Saturday. So what they have done, they've shifted that to Monday.
Tropical Cyclone Kenny may have damaged their schools and training facilities, but it didn't demoralize the athletes, still eager to participate in the annual event.
At the moment, there are 151 schools that are coming in. Whether they do come in or all of them do come in or not because of the cyclone, I hope that they do all come, plus the 4 or 5 schools that are coming in from the Maritime Zone. At the moment, no zone or no school has advised us that they would not be able to make it. They are all coming into the Coke Games.
Coca-Cola marketing manager Lawrence Tikaram has challenged affected schools to rise to the occasion next week.
Athletes, that have been affected, we want to say to you, this is your moment of truth to come and shine. Shine at the Coca-Cola Games. Show them that you can, above and all adversity, rise and shine, and find the resolve to come and perform and make these games one of the best games ever.
The opening ceremony of the Coke Games takes place on Thursday, and the competition is expected to finish early on Saturday, all at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Eroni Twinuku, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League final is all set for kickoff this weekend at Suva's ANZ Stadium. The much-anticipated event will feature the Leline Bulldogs in the under-15, 17 and under-19 grades. Schools League President Lai Doreranga says this is a good time for young players to showcase their talent.
The initiative now is to have these finals as a platform in which we can gauge our players for the national parent body, FNRL Academy, and also for the scouts to come in. And if they do watch it from overseas, this is a platform for it, for the grand finals.
The Fiji Volleyball Federation is making arrangements to clear its debts with the Fiji Sports Council. With a total sum of $46,000 owing to the council, Fiji Volleyball has been disallowed from using some of its facilities. Fiji Volleyball official Rosandali Tuidama says they are working closely with the Sports Council to resolve the matter.
I believe there's still discussions happening between executives of the Fiji Volleyball Federation and the Fiji Sports Council. Right now, there's a significant amount that needs to be cleared by the Federation before Fiji Sports Council gives the green light for the Federation to use its facilities.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, Moko Jambi, the traditional art of stilt dancing in Trinidad and Tobago. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kuminasong sekolah ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In your media tonight, the mass drop EDC3 earphones are an interesting niche. They're not cheap enough to be dollar store disposables, and they're not wireless. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Quite an improvement in today's weather situation. Most centers encountered sunshine, while others had few light showers. Taking up the west port today, a cloudy one with few isolated showers. Eastwards from Pekaba to Suva, a sunny day with moderate winds, quite dry as well. And up north, a shower or two, but always fine by afternoon. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide will be at 4:38 with low tide at 10:44 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:15. For tomorrow, it's Friday, and I have good news for you. The weather will be settled. Tomorrow's temps, majority centers will be moderate in the low 30s. And looking further on to Saturday, we could have few light showers, but other than that, it's all clear. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we ask, should those taking shelter at various evacuation centers take their own initiatives and clean up their homes and surroundings?
I think they should start cleaning their house and not wait for the government's assistance.
People that are staying in the evacuation center, if they are really, like their house is really damaged or really washed away by the landslide, then they are okay to stay there. They know that their house is minor damage and all, and they can just go back and clean their house and carry on with their duties.
If they go back home, it will be a good thing and they can clean their homes and do maintenance work.
It's about time they move back to their various houses, see what has been damaged, and they should start moving on from there. Government's assistance is also on its way.
Recapping the main stories, no corruption will be tolerated, PM warns relief workers. Parts of devastated Kadavu still out of touch, and 5 classrooms lost in Labasa Technical College fire. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should Gareth Baber be given a contract to coach the national team until the next Olympics? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent by Moshim Khan from FSC Mba, an adorable picture of animal friendship. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita na radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ako sila tali. Namurara may nawamanyi. Nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali. Nagundurong. Barong na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.